What's up, Falcons Nation, NFL fans? It's your boy Jew coming at you guys with another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content and NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my thoughts on the Super Bowl. As you guys now know, the Kansas City Chiefs did defeat the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl, and they are the 2024 NFL champions. So shouts out to the Kansas City Chiefs on being back-to-back Super Bowl champions. This hasn't been done since the 03-04 Patriots. So over 10 years, or I believe over 20 years, excuse me, we haven't seen back-to-back Super Bowls won by a franchise. So shouts out to the Kansas City Chiefs. They did pull out the victory over the San Francisco 49ers. And my takeaways from this game is that Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're a legendary pairing as far as head coach and quarterback. Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce are a special pairing as well. Two dynamic players, the best quarterback to tight end connection in NFL history. Outside of Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, I do believe that Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce are the best pairing as far as quarterback and tight end. So shouts out to those guys on winning their third Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs are now a dynasty, and Pat Mahomes is only 28 years old, if I'm not mistaken, and he has had a great career so far with 6 appearances in the AFC Championship consecutively. Him having multiple MVPs under his belt, and him now playing in, I believe, 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 seasons and winning 3 of those Super Bowls. So shouts out to the Kansas City Chiefs and Pat Mahomes. As I mentioned, Pat Mahomes is one of those guys that is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. Definitely will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Andy Reid, currently to me, is the best coach in the NFL, hands down. Now that Bill Belichick has isn't coaching in the league this next season, I think that Andy Reid is one of the greatest offensive minds and one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. And in this game, basically, my thoughts or takeaways from the game is that the 49ers, even though they led for most of the game, and they had momentum in the first half, they didn't do a good job of building on their lead. And I knew that they were in trouble when at halftime they were only up, I believe, 10-3 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. So the game was really, really close. And I really feel like they didn't do enough in this game to build a big enough lead when they had the momentum. And that really came back to bite them in yesterday's game. I believe the turnovers are really what cost the 49ers the muff punt, with the punt hitting the guy that was blocking, and them, the muff punt with them being able to recover that recover the punt on the Chiefs side of things, and them getting a short field. It looks like the 49ers just didn't do a good job of capitalizing. They did force Pat Mahomes into an interception, and they did also force a fumble against Pacheco, but they didn't do a good job of capitalizing by scoring touchdowns when they were able to turn over Pat Mahomes in this game. And I really feel like the turning point in the game was when that muff punt, or the punt hitting the guy that was blocking, and the Chiefs able to recover and go down and score a quick touchdown. I really feel like that was the turning point in the game. And you guys know I always talk about there's 1 to 2 to 3 plays in the game that'll change the game, and those were the couple plays in the game where it seems like the Kansas City Chiefs were able to capitalize on the 49ers turnovers, where the 49ers, even though they did a good job in the first half of limiting Pat Mahomes, they did a pretty good job of running the football and keeping Pat Mahomes on the sideline. over time, they just didn't do a good job of capitalizing and scoring points when they were able to get the interception, when they were able to force the fumble against Isaiah Pacheco, and that's the difference in the game. The block, extra point by the Kansas City Chiefs, like I mentioned, they just did everything right in the big time moments. And that was the reason why I picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game over the 49ers. I thought that experience would play a huge factor in this game. And I really feel like that's what was the difference in the game. We seen when it was crunch time or in the clutch, we seen Pat Mahomes go down in overtime, was able to go down and score a touchdown. And I knew when the 49ers got that field goal that Pat Mahomes most likely was going to go down and score the touchdown. Andy Reid did a great job of scheming guys open and calling, crucial plays at the right moment. Pat Mahomes made some key runs in the game where he used his legs when the game was on the line. And it just looks similar to what Tom Brady was able to do in a lot of the Super Bowls that he won in his career. As far as when it came down to crunch time moments, big time players make big time plays. And we've seen that out of Pat Mahomes in this game. When it was winning time, Pat Mahomes made all of the key plays in that game in overtime and in the second half. And I really feel like that was the difference in the game. We know that Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator and slash head coach of the 49ers, this is his third straight Super Bowl loss, two as a head coach and one as the former offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. I do feel for Kyle Shanahan of him not being able to, get that monkey off his back as far as winning a Super Bowl. To me in this game, he wasn't the reason why why the 49ers lost the game. I did think he did a pretty good job of calling plays. I think he could have ran the ball a little bit more, but to me it wasn't egregious where it was just like they lost the game because they didn't run the football. I really feel like the Kansas City Chiefs just took advantage of the plays. They made more plays than the 49ers made when it came down to it. The 49ers had a lot of mental mistakes as far as false starts. And it was crucial players, guys like Trent Williams, guys like Deebo Samuel dropping passes. Like they're playmakers that normally make big time plays. For whatever reason, in yesterday's game, they made mental mistakes. And I really feel like that was the biggest issue with yesterday's game. I don't really think that I'll put this loss on Kyle Shanahan. To be completely honest, I really think that the 49ers just didn't do they didn't do enough to win this game. They didn't do what it took to win the game. And in big time moments, the Chiefs players, they made the plays when they needed to be made. The 49ers, they didn't make enough plays in the big time moments. And I really feel like that was the difference in the game. The 49ers also did have, some key injuries throughout the game. It seems like for whatever reason, guys like Deebo Samuel, he seems to get injured in big time moments. And guys like George Kittle, I think, got hurt during the game. Dre Greenlaw also went down with an injury in the game. So it was just one of those weird games for the 49ers. For whatever reason, they're one of those teams that seems to have injuries, a lot of injuries. But, that's just a part of the game. But the main issue I just feel like is the Chiefs. They just were the more experienced team. They had been in those big time moments. And it just seems like at times the lights were just too big for the 49ers and their players didn't step up and make the crunch time plays when they needed to be made. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on this Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs winning their third Super Bowl and being a dynasty. Like I stated, hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs in this game. It was a solid game, especially in the second half. It was a really tight game, went into overtime. So it was a really good watch for the casual NFL fan and for a casual football fan. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.